let me introduce myself for the newbies, the new CEOs up in here. I'm Shamel Leonard. I started this group and the Auto Dealer Business School to give new auto dealers and existing auto dealers some information on how they can improve their business. When I first started, I got into the business not knowing anything, and no one was telling me anything. And now when I talk to other people, people are like, yeah, no one tells you anything. Well, I'm telling you everything that I can so that you can be successful and make six figures and have a true business where you are the CEO of, and you just don't own your job. Okay, so everything that I'm doing here is to move you to that point, to owning your investment. Your investment is your business. Back in the day, I used to love Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he has this book where he talks about his rich dad and his poor dad. And he breaks down like how you should not own your job. You should own your business. And what's the difference between owning your business and not owning your business? Because I thought, just having a business meant you owned your business, but that's actually not the case. Okay, owning your business, you have to do a couple of other things. Okay, you have to have some systems and some processes in place. And I know I say that a lot, and so I know you guys are like, well, what are the systems and processes? And that's part of what we're going to talk about today in your first year. Okay, all right. So I wrote some notes because I got to come correct. I got to make sure I give you guys everything that is possible to talk about on this subject. So I think this through. I got my notes. I want you to be informed. I want this to be as helpful as possible. So your first year being an auto dealer, of course, you're going to sell a car, right? At least one. So there are a couple of things you're going to need to sell a car. You're going to need auction access. You're going to need your dealer tag. You're going to need whatever system your state requires for you to transfer titles and do registrations, etc. Some states don't require a system, but you're going to need that. You're going to need access to that, and you're going to need a mechanic because you can believe that there's going to be something, even if from your first car, if there's nothing that you need to repair, there will be soon. And it's calming, and there's peace of mind knowing that if you can't do it, you have someone identified to do the work, and that they'll do it and be affordable, right? Because you're also in this business to make money, and you want to keep track of your expenses. Okay. And then of course the last thing you need is the car itself. So you use all these things to get the car. You use the auction access to go to the auction, to purchase the car. Then you put the dealer tag on to transport the car. And then you get it ready to sell. That's where your mechanic comes in. And then when you sell it, that's where the system to transfer title and to register it comes in. Okay. So your first year, you can expect to do that process over and over and over again with every car. Well, not getting auction access and getting your dealer tag, but the process of buying the car, transporting it, getting it ready, and selling it. Okay, so you need to have everything in place to make that system flow and flow smoothly for you each and every time. So I also include in this part a dealer management software. You're going to need a dealer management software. You don't know you need it. If you don't have it already, you don't know you need it, but you're going to need it. It makes everything easier, and it makes being a one-person show easier because you don't need so many other people or employees to make things go, because your dealer management software does a lot of tasks. It keeps track of the inventory you have. It can even market for you. It does a lot of things. Okay, so if you're looking for a dealer management software, there have been some that I've had some experience with. I love Fraser. I recommend Fraser for their price and their ease of use. And I've used the Wayne Reeves software. It was not my favorite, and I left that software to go to Fraser. And those are the only two dealer management softwares that I have used. Now, I've heard others use Dealer Center. My only hesitation with Dealer Center is the price. Okay, so if you're thinking to control your costs, especially in your first year, Fraser is, in my opinion, the way to go, because they are economical and it does the thing. All right, so any questions about your first year inventory process? Because this is mostly about, of course, we already know we are selling cars, right? So I'm trying, if you haven't already thought through the process and what all it takes, then this is what this is. That's what I'm trying to do for you here, is to make sure you understand your first year at a glance of how you're going to be in the business. So any questions about inventory? Probably not, because it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so then after that, you're going to have customers, right? You're going to sell the car to a customer. So let's talk about your very first customer. How will they call you? I want you to be very strategic in thinking about this, because how they call you now is how they're going to always call you forever, ever, ever, ever. Even if you send out an email saying, we no longer accept calls and text messages, they will call and text you, okay? So think about how you want your first customer to call you. How will they call you? If you're going to use your cell phone number, understand that comes with some issues. And I don't want to say issues, but just understand all the pros and the cons of each one. Okay, so if you're going to use your cell phone, then that means they can get a hold of you even when you're on vacation, when you're trying to have quiet time, when you're trying to be with your family. That means that you're always at work, and you can never turn it off if that's the way that you're going to run your business, on your cell phone with your cell phone number. Okay, so then other options are a Google Voice number. Okay, great. So then let's think that through. Are there ways that you can limit your access or their access? Are there ways that you can make sure you have personal time away from work time? Because this right here is the number one reason why dealers are tied to their business, is because their customers are calling their cell phone number. Okay, and it's hard for you to transition your business to other employees, and it's hard for you to get away from your business. You're going to need to separate from your business. So let's start thinking about that in the beginning. All right, so instead of going through all the options, let me just tell you the answer. So I would recommend you get a phone management system, okay? Everyone who has a license, or an independent license, has to have like a landline, right? And the phone has to ring in the office, or else you fail the inspection. So when the inspector calls, it has to ring in the office, okay? What you can do is you can forward your calls from your landline to a TalkRoute number. And TalkRoute is just a phone management system that I use that allows you to do a couple of things. One, it allows you to set business hours. So if you're taking calls from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., just for example, then you can set 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. When it's 5:01 p.m., those calls are routed to voicemail. That gives you some separation from your business, okay? So that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is you can set it up where it is a like an answering service. Well, I won't say answering service because there's not a person who picks up the phone, but someone can call and it'll say, hello, you've reached ABC. We got those cars, autos, or whatever the name of your business is. Okay, so you can set it up to like introduce your business, to route different calls. If you're calling to purchase that car you saw, then press 1. Okay, and now you know that that is a high priority call because somebody is trying to buy a car. Okay, so there are just things you can do with a phone system that you can't do with your cell phone. Your cell phone, I'm gonna say this. I am all about running my business on my cell phone. Okay, I run my business on my cell phone, but I have safeguards in place like TalkRoute. I was going to say, what was I going to say? So I'm not saying don't run your business from your cell phone. What I'm saying is have boundaries between work time and play time. Okay, you're going to need that to maintain some kind of balance in your business, and also to transition your business later so that you are honestly just the CEO of your business and you're not working in it 24/7. Does that make any sense? So I did want to add with TalkRoute, so you forward your calls from your office, it hits the TalkRoute, and say they press 1 for sales. Now it rings your cell phone. Okay, because I always have my cell phone with me. So now it rings. Now I know they're calling for sales. Hey, and then I proceed the call. Okay, so that went a little long about customers, but I think that it's important because I see people I see a lot of things going on with customers, and I think that we can, as dealers, we can eliminate a lot of the frustration with just how we manage our own business. Okay, we don't have to be frustrated with our customers. We just need to manage the customers better. Okay, if a landline phone is required to be in the office, how are you using your cell phone? Because I forward my calls from my office phone with TalkRoute. That's what I'm explaining. So yes, that's how I use my cell phone. Does that make any sense, Corey? All right, so the other thing that I want to say about customers is, now that you have identified how they will call you, how will you stay in touch with them? So you need to find a way, and what I mean by that is you need to find a way that each and every person who touches your organization edifies it. Each and every person who comes into your business, whether they buy a car or not, contributes to the growth of your business. That's big business practices, okay? So when somebody hits you up on Craigslist and they're like, hey, I saw your car, what's the price? They lowball you, whatever. In my opinion, you still need to maintain some professionalism, because you can still have that person working with you and then and helping you to sell cars, okay? So figure out a way to show people that they can still be a part of your organization even though they did not sell a car. Does that make any sense? How to repurpose. It's basically repurposing the people who touch your business. All right, I'm having a question about TalkRoute. Okay, so using TalkRoute won't fail the inspection. No, it won't, because the phone still rings in your office. You just have to turn off the forwarding. So when you're going for the inspection, on your phone, they have an app and it says forward off, and you just put forward off, then it rings in your office, and then you pass the inspection, and then when the inspector leaves, you say forward on, because you're going to be in the office. So anytime I'm in the office, I turn it off anyway, because I'll just use the office phone and I save my battery. Okay. All right. So any questions about customers touching your business, growing your business? And what I mean by that is, so this is what I would say do with your customers. This is what I do. Every person who contacts me to purchase a car, I have their contact information. At the very least, I have their phone number, because they're texting me, right? So when I get new cars in, I let them know, hey, or I reach out and say, hey, you were looking at my whatever last time. You had only $2,000 because they lowballed me. I was selling it for $3,000 or $3,500. So you only had $2,000. Did you ever buy a car? I have this one available, or whatever it is. So that's how you need people for your business to grow. My dad used to tell me that every dollar you make comes from someone. So you need people for your business to grow. Okay. So yeah, and I would have to add, you need cars too. But definitely people, that's important. All right. So the more people who contact you and you draw in to your business because you're so professional and you're so, whatever, then the more of an army you have to sell your cars. Does that make any sense? with the customers. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about the customers, because I'm gonna move on to profit. Any questions about customers? If you're good, just let me know. I'm good. Let's move on. or just say, yeah, I'm good, or something like that. All right. So I did have a question about how much is the dealer management software. Okay, I did see that earlier. Frazier is $45 a month, I want to say. If you pay a year, you get a discount. So I want to say they're either for the $45 a month or $55 a month. Okay, which is very reasonable. Like, they're the most reasonable I have found in the industry, and a lot of people use them, and they have great integrations. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing a Frazier commercial, but I really do believe in their product. They make a good product, and they have great customer service. Anytime I've needed anything with Frazier, I've never had an issue getting a hold of them or them fixing it. So I would definitely recommend Frazier. Okay. All right. So profit. Okay. Any questions? No. Okay. Profit. So now you got your first car, you bought it, you sold it, you got your customers, you have a way for them to call you, that sets your business up for success in the future. You have a way that you're connecting with them so that when you get new inventory, you can let them know, and then they can refer somebody, or maybe they can buy it. Now you sold a car. Now what about the profit, right? Most people, when they get to the profit, they're like, hallelujah. Okay, like, woo, I sold a car. Look at all these hundreds. Look at this money. Let me count it. Let me take pictures of it. Let me, basically you're just happy about, the profit. So let's talk about what to do with it. Okay, so you got to have some kind of banking system. And I know that I work with a lot of people who are skeptical of banks. Okay, I get it. I'm not even saying that you shouldn't be like that. Okay, I get it. However, in this system that we live in this society, having your money in a bank is going to be more beneficial to you than it is going to not be beneficial to you. Okay. Because let me tell you, you have to be able to show your deposits. You have to be able to show what your bank is making. This is how you're going to get, business loans, bank loans, funding. Your deposits have to be strong. So I encourage you to deposit the full amount of your profit, even if you're going to go and withdraw it right out. Okay. Even if you withdraw every last penny of it right out, I encourage you to deposit the entire amount into your bank, okay? Because you need your banking deposits to be awesome. Like, you need them to be high. You need them to be reflective of a cash positive, cash flow strong business, okay? Are you hearing me? Are you picking up what I am putting down right now? Okay, I get it though, but you have to deposit. I would recommend, I wouldn't say have to, but it just puts you in a much better position for your business later. Deposit all of your profit. You need those bank deposits to be high, okay? And you can go right to the ATM and draw it right back out or whatever. Write a check, whatever. But yes, do that, okay? Also, the other thing you need to do is separate your personal expenses from your business expenses. And I'll go more into this later, but just know I dropped this right here, right now, because that's something you need to do. You need to pay yourself and then spend from what you pay yourself. It, in a lot of ways, I mean, of course it's a good business practice, but it's a good spiritual practice. Like, paying myself is good for my spirit. Like, actually knowing that this is my money, like my paycheck, is way better than just taking the money from the business. In my opinion, that it makes me feel better. It's like, okay, I pay myself a salary. I'm getting hot. I need to turn on the AC. I need to pay myself a salary. Okay. So pay yourself a salary, and don't just, use all the business money to pay your personal expenses. Okay, are you picking up what I'm putting down? If you are, say yeah in the comments. I want to make sure you hear me. I am going to talk more about that, and of course I coach about that. So if that's some information you need, then definitely get with me on the coaching. Okay, so now we got the banks out the way. Budget. All right, which is another B word that we do not like so much, right? Budget. But you need to have a budget. You have expenses, which at the very least are what it costs you to have your license, okay? And all the other things that help your business to run. All right, Eric says, got it. Brent says, what's a good percentage to take for a salary? 80%, 80, 70%. It depends on what your budget is. So that's what we're talking about. So I take a large percentage for salary, okay? But you just have to set it and make sure it's good for your expenses, like your budget, okay? But yeah, I'm saying 80% to let you know that you can take a lot of it because your expenses aren't that much. Be mindful though that in the beginning, you may want to set some aside as well for like an emergency fund. Like, especially if you don't have a coach, you need an emergency fund because something is going to go wrong and you're going to need some money to be able to pivot. Okay. So, what was I saying? I was talking about the budget. So your expenses go in your budget, everything it takes to be able to buy the cars and, sell them, have your license, and also everything it takes to pay for, like your staff. So if you're the only staff, okay? So you're going to go through your budget. And of course we go through this in coaching, but you got to get your budget together. All right. And then the next thing about profit is monitoring. I am a little obsessive about checking my revenue, honestly, but I always want to know, like, what are my numbers? Like, okay, so profit loss statement basically is what you're looking for. You want to know how to run numbers on what you've made, and so you can set goals. Let me tell you from experience, okay? Like, I feel like I had a moment because it was an epiphany for me when I started checking my revenue and then setting revenue goals, okay? So I would, in my first year in the business, it didn't quite go smoothly, okay? Because I didn't have me to tell me, or I didn't have someone to tell me what to do and what to expect and what the big picture was and how you want this to go and how you want to plan, right? So I was just making money, like selling cars, making money, spending money. Okay. There was no, let's set revenue goals. There was no, how much money we want to make this year and let's go after it. All right. After I started getting more organized with my profit and then checking my profit and seeing where I was, man, it was so exciting to be like, okay, well, what would it take to double this before the end of the year? Like, how many cars, how many customers? Then you approach your business in a much different way. It's no longer a struggle bus. It is an actual business that's generating revenue, and you have a plan, and it's exciting, and your team is excited, and everybody is on board because they're like, yes, let's hit this goal. Let's make this money, right? It's different. It's a different environment. It's a different morale. Okay. So you want to be able to run your numbers. Long story short. Eric says there is a book called Profit First that might help to read regarding paying yourself. Ooh, thanks, Eric. I'm going to write that down. Thank you so much, because I am going to do one of these mentoring Mondays on books that have been helpful being an auto dealer, because yes, there are books and you need to read them that have helped me, and I want to pass those on. So that sounds like a good one. Thanks, Eric. Jesse says, I'm using an accountant and he did a profit and loss report. It was definitely eye-opening. Great, Jesse. Look at you using an accountant. Yes. So that's the next step. It's definitely to have someone else doing this. Okay. Cause like I said, you're the business owner. You want somebody else you can call and be like, yo, what's our profit? What's our loss? Right. So, yes, definitely track your revenue. Okay. And this is all your first year. Okay. Be a business. All right. So after profit is business management. All right. So in your business management, I'm going to simplify it because in your first year, of course, you got a lot of moving parts. So to simplify it, what you want to do in your business management is, number one, you want to make sure you do everything to keep you in business, to stay in business. Okay. So that's going to be like your compliance, making sure your deal jackets have all the documents, making sure you give your customers every document they need, making sure you don't have complaints, etc., etc. The sun is moving around. Okay, that's number one. You want to also make sure you don't get into trouble and you don't get fined. Okay, so all of this is compliance. So your business management needs to address what your compliance concerns are in your state. And to be honest, I've seen that the compliance concerns are the same for most states, okay, which they are: making sure you give your customer the correct documents, making sure you transfer title in a reasonable amount of time, making sure you have all the appropriate paperwork to disclose things like the buyer's guide or whatever. Now those documents vary per state, so you have to check your state to make sure what they are. And also making sure taxes, okay, taxes, however your state handles taxes, you're going to want to make sure that's in order, as well as your federal taxes. Okay, you need to make sure you file those. And we talked last Monday, was it, about auto dealer taxes. So this is your business management. These are your processes, making sure you have a compliance process and making sure it's back to the money, making sure your taxes are done and you have good records. Okay. All right. Any questions about business management or profit or anything? Any questions? All right. Last one. It's the last one. Okay. We talked about inventory. We talked about customers. We talked about profit. We talked about business management. The last one, I think, goes unnoticed a lot. But in my last interview, my most recent client, Virgil, talked about one thing that was very helpful in working with me is mindset. So the last one is about mindset. I need to catch the sun different, this light, as I can't even see the comments. Okay. So the last one is about mindset. Okay. I went through a lot emotionally my first year in business, just being honest. There were a lot of emotions that came up about, am I enough to do this? Am I doing the right thing? Am I being responsible? Am I managing my money right? Am I a good money manager? Am I a good person? Am I good to the public? Can I be trusted with this kind of responsibility? Am I a mean person? For sticking to my price and having these boundaries? What is my purpose in life? How do I want to do this as an auto dealer? I mean, I can go on and on and on. And then, am I successful? Even after things started, it was about, okay, am I successful yet? What does it look like to be successful? What would success feel like? It was a lot of thoughts and emotions. And I'm not sure if that's just me, but most of the people I've worked with have said the same thing. So you're going to have a lot of thoughts. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have fears. You're taking a risk. And with a risk means that you're getting out of your comfort zone, which getting out of your comfort zone causes a lot of things to happen. It causes growth, okay? But with growth, there are growing pains, and it's helpful to have someone there to be able to identify what's actually just a growing pain and what is a problem and what needs to be changed, or what's something that you can expect to change because you're going through the motions, or what is something that you just have to learn to live with because this is just how it is. Your mindset can definitely make or break you. How you look at yourself, how you look at your business, is very important. I've said before, and I think I'm gonna go on record to say, officially that I think starting a business is the closest to a spiritual journey that I've ever had. Okay, it's like, because you're creating something from nothing, right? Like, I don't want to get too biblical, but like how God did in the beginning, like, I wasn't there, but supposedly there was nothing here, and you're creating something out of nothing, and you're walking it through the different stages of growth. And there are a lot of stuff can come up. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn about a lot about what you want to do, what you don't want to do, what you like to do, what you don't like to do. And you can either take that information and use it to grow your business, or that information will close your business. Okay. And if you are struggling with these questions, these thoughts, this process, then you definitely need someone to help walk you through it, because like I say, your mindset can make or break you. And I haven't talked a lot about mindset because I kind of thought people wouldn't really want to hear about it. Like, it sounds very like, mystical, magical, whatever. But to be honest, it is the number one determining factor of your success is your mindset. Okay, you can't make yourself do something you don't want to do. You can't, you can't just muscle through it. Okay, and I'm a person who I will muscle through it. I've never paid attention to my emotions before, my feelings before. It was like, whatever, so what? Feelings aren't facts. Okay, that was what I used to say. Feelings aren't facts. So I wouldn't pay attention to my emotions at all. But your emotions are giving you information about what you need to do in your business, what you want to do, and how to make your business better and how to make it grow. And if you need some help decoding that message, then definitely get with me so I can coach you through it. Okay, as well as coaching you through making the money you want to make selling cars. All right, so any questions about mindset and anything else? Because this is the end of what to expect your first year. Was this, I also just want to ask you, was this helpful? Was it informative? Did it give good information? That kind of stuff. Because I want to make sure that I was hitting, I was giving you what you kind of sort of expected that this would be. Okay, let me know if this was good for you, if this helped, if this opened your eyes, if this, gave you some kind of epiphany, any of that thing. Okay, Philip, it's like, yes, it was strong. Okay, cool. Thank you. Carlos, hi, thanks for the awesome training today. Lots of good information that is relevant. Okay, great. Very helpful, Eric. Okay, great. All right. I always want to make sure it's helpful and it's not like, just me talking. Okay. I want to always give you information. I'm going to drop in the comments information about how to sign up with TalkRoute. Okay. Much needed, Corey. Great. All right, so I'm going to drop in the comments information about TalkRoute. Since I use TalkRoute, they give me a little benefit if I refer somebody. So you also get a benefit too if you sign up. So I'm going to drop a link. So if you want to sign up for TalkRoute, then you can. And there are other services. I started out with Ring Central, but they are more expensive now. So I found someone else, TalkRoute, and I like TalkRoute too. So. And they do pretty much the same thing. So I'll put some information about TalkRoute and any other information I talked about. Oh, Frasier. What else did I talk about? So whatever else I talked about, I'll drop the information in the comments. Let me know if you have any other questions. You can always email me if you want more information about coaching. Then drop that in the comments, or you can email me at hello@autodealerbschool.com. Okay, you can email me, and then I'll send you the information so we can get together. Otherwise, have a great day. Hopefully you feel more put together than you did when you started on this live video, and you feel more confident about selling cars and getting this business handled. And I will see you later on this week. I think I want to come bring back Janita later on this week. I haven't talked to her about it yet. So Janita, if you're watching, I'm going to call you. And Janita is our credit specialist. I want to bring her back maybe to talk about how to use your credit to get cash. So stay tuned for that. And then I know I got to get some licensing videos out. You know, it's been a little busy. So I will get some more licensing requirements out for you who want to be licensed in your state and you want to figure out like what's needed, what's required. Okay. All right. So I look forward to helping you with whatever you got going on next so you can get to this money. All right. Have a good day. Bye.